Hi guys, in this video we're going to discuss about how to install a Python. Okay, so let me take you to the browser. Okay, so there go and type like python.org. Python.org is a official website of a Python where you can do play with that to know the ifs and buts of all the Python related activities that is happening every day. Okay, this is what official website. You can see the documentation, you can see the new features, you can see the difference between the old and new features, and for all the variables, libraries, whatever it is that you can get the documents here. But our focus should be on the downloads part. So click on the download, and when you click on the download, the first thing that you see on the screen is that the version of Python that has been released latest. Okay, the version is 3.10.2. This is the latest version of Python that is supported. Okay, this is not only the version that you're supposed to play. Sometimes when you work for a client, when you work for a company, when you work for a project, there is high chance that the project people might still using the older version of Python. Okay, so what you can do, if you want the latest version, just click over here, let that get downloaded. What you can do is that go to downloads, click on the all releases and scroll down to see any older version if you want to have 3.9, 3.99, 3.98, 3.7 till the latest one 3.10.2. You'll be having the complete version, and you know that Python already stopped their support to 2.7 version of Python. They stopped it. Okay, so they were not no more supporting the 2.7, but you can use 2.7. But if at all there is a flaws, if at all there is a kind of mismatch that happens on 2.7, they will not provide you the support or any patching activity. So that you need to take on your own decision. But 3.10.2 is the latest version of Python. And to work with this latest version of Python, which is 3.10.2, the only criteria is that you should have at least Windows 10 as a part of your system OS, so that the 10 will have the compatibility. If you work with Windows 7, and probably you may not have you cannot work with the latest version of Python. In that case, you may have to go little lower into the version of Python. So basically, the one which I downloaded right now needs to have Windows 10 as the OS. Okay, so let me double click this. Right, when you double click this, a screen will be opened where it allows you to select two options, either install now or a customized install. Okay, my preference would be to go for a customized installation so that you can add more feature. Before that, you need to click this part, which is nothing but an environment setting. Okay, imagine when you install any software that will get installed only on the C drive, correct? At times, when you want to use the software which is installed on a C drive in some other drives, probability of it throws a error is very high. Okay, because D drive may not see certain functionality as a reference. For example, a C drive, the where the Python got installed, will have one library called pip. Okay, when you try to use the same pip in some other drives, maybe D drive, E drive, or some other folder of your system, pip may not be recognized by that particular folder. It is like when I join a college as a lecturer, people may not know, correct? Unless until he is a principal who appointed me, nobody knows me. Okay, so what principal must do? He needs to ask everybody to assemble at one common point, and it needs to introduce me saying that he is Mohan, he is your new lecturer, so that everybody can understand that yes, I'm going to be the lecturer for this college as well. Similarly, you need to enable this checkbox just to make sure that you are just giving the broadcast to the entire system folder that Python is getting installed on the C drive, so that in future when you want to run certain application in some other drives, it will directly get the reference of the C drive, or it can able to get the pip or whatever the libraries that is supposed to get. So basically, to avoid the conflict of folders, you need to make sure that you set a Python as a environment path. That is what you do here by clicking this check button. In lower version of Python, maybe 2.7, 2.6, right? You don't have that headache because you have to do it manually. you have to do it manually. But here in latest version of Python like 3, 3.10, 3.8, right? They by default give the option where they will set this as a environment path. Okay. Next question is that if you ask me, sir, I never did this checkbox. That means I failed to do the check of this specific checkbox. Does it mean that my Python, I cannot store my Python as an environment variable? The answer is definitely no. This is the easiest option to do or easiest option to set your Python as an environment variable. But if you fail to do this, we have another way to do it manually. That also I'm going to discuss with you right now. So click on customize installation. Make sure that everything is checked. Click next. And here also make sure that everything is checked. Okay. And you can click install. When you're done with the installation, you can cross verify whether the Python got installed properly or not. Okay. I don't want to install this because I've already has my system with Python latest version. Let me close this. Yes. Now, how do I check whether Python got installed in my system? By two ways. One is go to command prompt, type Python. If you type Python, it should prompt you to this particular shell where you can run your Python related activity. Shell means what? It's kind of home for that particular thing to reside. So now it is opening a shell and it gives you the detail that the Python version that I have in my system is Python 3.9.6. Okay. Here itself, you can start running your code or you can start typing code, but preferably don't try here. Okay. This is just for the confirmation. Then what is the next method? You know that whatever the software that we do have or that we're going to play needs to have some sort of editor to type our code, like Visual Code, Microsoft Visual Studio, so on, so Notepad, whatever it is. Okay. Similarly, for Python also, we need to have some sort of editor to type our code, which we call it as SDK, Software Development Kit. Okay. That Python gives you by default. Okay. That is called idle, IDLE. So when you type idle, and if you see idle as a part of your application, then that is another confirmation that yes, Python has been properly installed in your system. So idle is a tool for running your application, typing your application, basically. Okay. So this is one confirmation that yes, Python got installed. Fine.